What's up, friends? The live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast, brought to you by Horizon Hydroponics. Okay. They just signed up for another 6 months on the Eric Zane Show podcast sponsorship. So I'm very, very happy about that. And if you are a audience member of this show, or maybe just getting it for the first time, whatever, doesn't matter. Just know that I have an army of us. Excuse me, I can't even talk. That I have an army of sponsors that help make this thing all possible. And Horizon Hydroponics is one of them. So if you're growing anything indoors, and let's be honest, I'm referring to cannabis. I don't know why I would dance around it. I mean, I've never run into someone who says, oh, man, I am just so excited about my indoor cucumber growing operation that I have. It is, I tell you, it is a fantastic thing. I couldn't be happier than how I am right now with my honeydew patch that I have in my living room. That never happens. So let's just be totally honest here. Pot. And they have everything that you need to have a successful grow. Okay? I know they tell me, yeah, Eric, there's a lot of people that grow stuff indoors. It's not like that doesn't have anything to do with pot, man. People like to grow succulents. Okay. All right. I understand. There. I said it. If you want to grow the biggest, stickiest of the ickiest pot, you need to have your plants fueled by what they sell at Horizon Hydroponics. And when you go there and you check out with the code Zane Show, you will save 10% at horizonhydroponics.com. It's very important to make it HORIZEN. Get it, Zen, like you're in Zen. Horizonhydroponics.com. And they ship it anywhere in the USA. Orders $250 and over, free shipping. Or you can go to the brick and mortar stores. Alpine and Grand Rapids, Byron Center is the growers outlet. Kalamazoo and Lansing. All this information is available on their website. There you go. Thank you. And I appreciate the support. John and Bridget at Horizon Hydroponics. Okay. Side note, there's always a reason why I'm late. There's always some excuse. But today it was an internet day, and all of a sudden I'm seeing no internet. So then I was like making arrangements to get my backup plan going, which is my Mevo camera setup. And so I'm like, shit, man, I'm already late. This is terrible. But then it turns out that it looks like the internet came back, though the internet comes back. So I'm doing this right now. I can see you're all there enjoying it. Excellent. And I see Jason's comment. Love these on-time starts. Yeah, I know. But this is the excuse. So I'm sitting there picking my ass, setting up the backup. And I probably honestly would have started at like 8:05, So it would have still been late, but it was more late because of that. Just please, just give me a break. This is the one thing I know. 1 out of 10 times, I'll actually start at 8. I've got to recenter myself and focus on the time. Damn it. Andrew says, how was paintball? Sorry, I missed. Hey, I'm going to get to all of that. That is all coming up. I have an army of things to talk about. This big stack of stuff to talk about. Not the least of which, the freaking paintball event last night, which was one of the best. But I'm already getting ahead of myself. As you know, I'm prone to do. Thank you, Kent County Health Department. AccessKent.com/health. It was 1 year ago yesterday that the first case of COVID was announced here in the U.S. What? Yeah. Isn't that something? 1 year. Holy crap. Well, I remember thinking back to that. I remember when it all started to unfold and they when the state actually shut down, or when things started to shut down, I was actually under the impression that this was going to take like a week or two, honestly. And I don't think I'm the only one. Oh, yeah, a week or two, and then it'll all fizzle out. It's like, holy shit. Couldn't have been more wrong. I don't recommend you go back and listen to old shows of me. I take a firm stance. This is all a hoax. I take a firm stance. This is not a hoax. It was so wishy-washy. Oh, it's just crazy. Some of you might be battling that right now. I don't know if anybody's changing their opinion anymore, though. I think we've pretty much set up, and that's fine, what people are going to believe. Anyway, I am doing all sorts of digressing. What an asshole. Focus, Eric. My gosh. The Kent County Health, can't even talk either. The Kent County Health Department, accesskent.com/health. If you need a test, call them. If you need to know information about vaccinations, which, it's hit or miss as to when these are going to be made available to people. But I am hearing of more and more people being vaccinated. This is going to take some time, and it will require some patience. All of that is available, accesskent.com/health. Or if you need information about the WIC program so that you can keep food on the table. Okay, one more quick mention, and then I'm going to talk quite a bit about TC Paintball, about our time. But I just wanted to point out that, excuse me, with them as a sponsor, they just started something new that I think you're going to want to try out, especially if you have kids, because, some of you might be like, well, paintball, and I don't, I really want my little girl or my little guy playing paintball, or maybe I just want, if there was a way to ease them into this type of activity, entertainment activity, there is. And it is called Jelly Ball, which is, you got these guns that are about the size of a Star Trek phaser, okay, with the hopper is full of these little teeny tiny jelly balls, about the size of a marble, maybe just a little bit smaller than a marble. And when you pull the trigger, they go, they fly out like really, really fast. And you don't have to wear the full mask. All you have to do is wear the eye gear. And they don't leave a mark. They don't cause you any real discomfort. It might sting a little if you catch one in the face. But what I describe this as extreme Nerf. Okay. And when the paint hit, or when the jelly ball hits you, it doesn't leave any paint or anything like that. So that's the type of gameplay. And they have built a close quarter battle setup where, you're kind of like peering around corners, and all these obstacles are set up for almost like hallways or a maze that you're working your way through the field. And it's really, really great. And I had a group play it while we were doing paintball yesterday, and they said, oh, man, this is fun. And what you do is you pay $25, and it's unlimited, okay? So you can use as much of the jellies as you can. It's not like in paint how, once you use the paint, then the paintball is gone. And jelly ball, they can recycle those. So that's cuts down on the cost. Reach out to Rick at TC Paintball, online at tcpaintballgr.com for more information about Jelly Ball for the kids. It's fun. So I think you would, I think that the kids would like that. Okay. Got that out of the way. And thank you, Rick, by the way, for this awesome, very, very comfortable hoodie. I appreciate it. There you go. It's a TC Paintball hoodie if you're just listening to the audio podcast. All right. Today is January 22nd, 2021. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now.
Hey everyone, Kenny from Nashville here. And after a long day of listening to some crappy death metal, I like to unwind with the Eric Zane Show podcast. Yeah. Here's your host, Eric Zane.
Thank you, Kenny. This is the Daily Show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures Monday through Friday at 8-ish. 8-ish. 8 is the supposed start time, but it rarely happens that way. But welcome in to you all. Let's go over the ground rules. If you're on Facebook watching it, please share. Thank you so much. Share. And your friends see what you're watching. They might look at it too. And then boom, we might even get a few of them that come back. And then we'll convince them to share it. And then it's like that commercial. And then they told 2 friends way back in the day. Remember that? It's a stupid reference. What the fuck is wrong with me? So share that thing on Facebook. Facebook brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. All right. Thank you to them, by the way. They just re-signed again. I'm living right these days. Thank you. I appreciate the support. When the audience supports the sponsors, then they come back and say, yeah, we see value in your podcast, Eric. So please support the sponsors always and say hi to them and mention that you heard about them from my show. So thank you. That's on Facebook. And thank you for watching. Twitter, that's a Blue Frost IT joint Periscope video. Please retweet on Twitter. The Twitter numbers are taken off. Before, I was lucky to get like 40 people that would watch a stupid video. Now it's like 300-400 people. I'm like, what? I'm doing something right. Let's keep it going. Thank you. And then, of course, the almighty YouTube. Eric Zane Show on YouTube. Subscribe, subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you know when I go on there. And then hit the thumbs up button on this video. Thank you. YouTube is brought to you by my friends at F45 Training in Byron Center, Michigan. And as always, download the audio podcast wherever you download podcasts. I'm on Instagram, Eric Zane Show, all one word on Instagram. Brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. I think it's all one word on Instagram. If not, you'll find it. I don't know. I bring that up because I do trivia on Wednesdays. Wednesday night trivia. Instagram instant trivia is so much fun, and it's like it's like a secret because hardly anybody watches that video, but then they like a bunch of people watch it after. Okay, now to me a bunch is 100, but it's like 200-300 people watch the video afterwards. And what it is I sit there and the camera's on me, and then when you watch it, you click at the bottom the icon of like 2 people. You click it, and then it says request to join the video. So you do that, and then I see you do that, and that means you want to play trivia. I hit your name, you pop up on the screen in front of me. If you don't want to be seen, just flip your camera, and I can hear your voice, and then I ask you a trivia question. You get it right, you get a nice, crisp $10 bill from my friends at MB Distributing, which yesterday, oh my God, I told Adam the Odd I was going to bring the $10 because he won it the week before, and of course I forgot it. Poor son of a gun. Spends all his hard-earned money on things that I tell him to do, and I can't even remember to bring the $10. What an asshole. But all right, so that's basically the ground rules for the show as to how we do this. Somehow, through all of that, we have managed to keep doing this podcast for more than 2 years from this room, from humble beginnings. And it must always be the humblest of beginnings, because the second I start to, yeah, man, I'm great. My shit doesn't stink. I don't need you. Well, then you're dead. Don't ever forget that, Eric. That is the most important thing. By the way, this show comes to you from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. If you need anything for your DIY projects and you are in the Northland of Michigan, in and around Baldwin, head to Baldwin Ace Hardware. Thank you so much to Mike and Jennifer Gilmurray. This show today, we've got a lot of ground to cover. There was one person who was planning on being pardoned. He was actually like really, really expecting it. But after he learned he wasn't on the list, he has a theory as to why. Who is that? The Tiger King. Yes, the Tiger King. Man, Zane, I don't want to hear nothing about Tiger King. It really pisses me off that you talk about him, man. I don't care. So thus, no one else should care. No, seriously. A teenager. Okay. This guy was stealing from his job, grocery store job, teenager. Now, I actually, used to steal from workplaces when I was a kid. I was kind of a kleptomaniac. I was always stealing shit. I was actually headed down a bad path. Stealing from the job, whatever job I was working at. Eventually, that actually followed me to college. I've told that story about when I was shoplifting CDs and I grabbed a copy of REM's Green. And that was when the CDs were in those big, long, stupid cases to try to prevent theft. And I stick it in my coat, but I had no idea that the corner of it was sticking out of the back. And that was there with a bunch of other guys who were also shoplifting CDs. And I had my spider sense was going off that I was being watched. And there was no cameras in the store or anything like that, but I had a feeling that someone from theft prevention was watching me. It turns out I was right. So I ditched the CD and left the store. And one of the guys who I went in, it was in Clare, Michigan. It was a grocery store called Giant grocery store. I don't think it's there anymore. In beautiful Clare, Michigan. We were in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We drove 20 miles to the north just to steal. And so when we walked in there, 4 college kids, and all went in different directions. Right away, they go, okay, we've got 4 thieves in the store. So we're all doing our thing, looking for shit to steal. I didn't even like fucking REM. I wasn't even interested in this band. And so I take the damn thing, and then I realized I felt like I was being followed, and then put it away. I just dropped it off in any spot. I put it in the friggin' hot dog aisle, and then I left. But when we got back to the car, one of the guys wasn't there. Turns out he got popped. And sure enough, they called the cops. He got, whatever, caught with misdemeanor theft or whatever it was. And then when he finally got back to campus, he goes, Eric, they were watching you. They were going to stop you too. You were this close. He said they were watching you. They saw you put the CD down, everything. And you lucked out. I'm like, holy shit. That was the last time I ever stole anything. Learned my lesson. This kid, though, holy shit. Oh, my gosh. Phenomenal. The extent of this young dude's work and the idea that he thought he could get away with this is amazing. You will not believe what this crazy son of a bitch did in 2 weeks' time at work. I've got an email of the day. It's brought to you by my friends at Forever Law in West Michigan. We have a 2-time winner, as BJ has written in again. I forgot what he wrote about last time, but I know he did win email of the day. And so, yeah, he had. I wonder if BJ heard me ranting on the new general manager of the Detroit Lions about him naming his son BJ and how horrible of a thing that is. I don't know. You got to be name the kid BJ. I can't really grasp that. We got another one of Michigan's dimmest busted by the FBI for his role at the Asshole Festival at the Capitol a couple of weeks ago. And I have a story also about a guy who was swindled of his cash. Phone scam. Guy fell for it, and I really want to feel bad for this guy, but it's really tough. It's really tough to not just go, how the fuck could... Well, I can definitely just say, yes, well, how the fuck could this have happened to you? This is horrible. How did you do this? But some scam happened, and he fell for it. And did Mickey Redmond, longtime color commentator for your Detroit Red Wings, did he drop an F-bomb during a game this week? And oh, my gosh. I will let you be the judge. But, yeah, last night was paintball. And, man, it did not let down. Again, thank you to Rick from TC Paintball for hooking me up with this really, really nice hooded sweatshirt. It is so damn comfortable. When you walked in there, the first thing you notice is he purchased 2 sets of cornhole boards from Cornhole America, another one of my great sponsors. And he bought a set of Eric Zane Show podcast cornhole boards and TC paintball boards, and he's actually made them available. If you want, he bought them off them, and now he's selling them to you at cost. So that is just so kind of him. Thank you so much. So if you go in there, you'll be able to see the handiwork. And one of the things that stood out was the quality. And he goes, "Oh my God, man, they do an amazing job there." Rick just was really impressed with those boards, comparing them to the garbage ones you can get at any store otherwise. So those were there. You go in there, we got the pizza, we're all set, ready to play. And one of the things I picked up on was how incredibly out of shape I am. Now, I don't want you to get the idea that when I'm playing paintball, I'm running around. I've never done that. I'm always slow. I usually just hide behind one of the bunkers and just try to pick people off and wait for them to make a move. And sure enough, that did happen quite a bit, because Silverback Gorilla / former Grand Rapids Griffins hockey player Tristan Grant was there, and he was rampaging the entire time trying to shoot me. But one of the things I noticed was, prior to the kidney donation, if I'm walking around with my gun, I would work out and had enough strength to hold the gun, and no problem, and for a long period of time, and would not get fatigued. Yesterday, if I'm holding the gun up, I've got about a 20-second window of time where I can actively try to shoot someone before it's so ridiculous. I would have to actually put the gun down and sit there and go huffy puffy, huffy puffy, because there was so much fatigue, and I could feel all the lactic acid building up in my shoulders. It was awful. So I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. So incredibly out of shape. I could barely even hold the gun for extended time. So that sucked. But then I've got to put up with Tristan Grant, who I introduced him to a couple people. I go, "Hey, everybody, this is Tristan. He used to beat the shit out of a bunch of people that are a lot more famous than him." And it's true. If you search Tristan's videos, that's Triston Grant online, you're going to see him fighting, Aaron Downey, Milan Lucic. I think it's how you say his name. The guy for the Boston Bruins. Just Grant's getting in these incredible fist fights. And by the way, he told me a story that I'm going to have him tell when he joins me on the podcast, not today, but at a later date, about when he got hit in the face with a puck and what damage it did to him. Let me just say, he finished his shift thinking, "Oh boy, I think I got a loose tooth." So much worse. Oh my God. So I'm hiding behind a bunker, and Grant, I know, wants to shoot me because I've been talking trash, texting him. And I hear this running towards me. I can hear his feet pounding because he runs like a clumsy maniac, just like the way he skates. And he's just like running at me with reckless abandon, just running with the gun out, just shooting blindly like a caveman. So what did I do? Pluck, shot him twice. He's done. That's that. He tried this more than once, this technique. And I'm like, what the hell? What are you doing? He just goes running at me. And I was waiting for him to actually stop shooting and just try to throw the gun or something like that. I will say this. We were broke up into teams of 3. It was me, Adam the Odd, and this young dude named Brady, who was also pretty damn good. And our team kicked ass. We had 8 round-robin games, and we were 6 wins, 2 losses. We won the whole damn thing. We kicked ass, and it was awesome. The one game that we lost, I couldn't get my gun to work, so I was like not even in the game hardly. And then finally, when I got to work and some chick shot me, the one girl we were playing, I think her name was, that doesn't matter. She shot me right between the eyes. Holy crap. And then the Battle Royale, which every time is a real highlight. Excuse me. So you've got Rick from TC, who's the pro. And I think there was about 13 of us. And people who had never participated in a battle royale, they go, "So it's all of us versus him?" I go, "Yes." And I go, and get the notion out of your head that we've got some kind of advantage. I go, we've done this with more than 20 and he's won. They're like, what? And I go, yep. So here's the technique. You can try to surround him and flush him out. But that's going to be tough because as you move and try to get a shot on him, he's probably going to shoot you first. He really knows how to navigate the inflatable bunker and in particular trick that he does. I don't know how we can't. He's just amazing. He's like a ghost. Really, really quick. And then I said, and if you can't see him, look behind you. And sure enough, that little fucker, right away, as soon as the game starts, we've got 3 guys out just like that. There was one period of time I thought for sure I was completely undercover, and then I felt the paintballs bouncing off my back, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta put my hand up. I'm shot. I'm out. And then you know, it's getting off of the paintball field is a challenge because there's so much, he puts so much fire down that you're bound to get hit again. And sure enough, I'm walking off, I get shot again. And by the way, when I got shot in the back, it actually hit my one kidney that I have, the exact spot. So there you go. 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 kidney. So it was a hell of a time, man. And he ends up winning the whole damn thing. Just a great, great event. We're going to do it again. Let's see, it's January 22. I don't know. I'm guessing late March we'll be getting after it. But pizza beforehand from BC Pizza. It was awesome. Hope to do it again with all of you. So just be listening for that. I saw that. I don't know where he comes up at the time, but good friend of ours, Mike Pellerito, was hard at work. Did you see the Bernie Sanders memes that were going around? This is the Photoshop job of Bernie Sanders seen at the inauguration. He was sitting there with his little gloves on and his mask on and his coat, and he's all bundled up and just freezing his ass off. Looked like he hated his life. And somehow, you know how the internet is. Things start. Bernie Sanders now inserted in all these different memes. Pellerito was hard at work, and I'm going to post them all of his memes, including my favorites, the sitting on the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones, and also seated in the background and kind of next to Sharon Stone when she's sitting looking hot on what the hell is that movie? Fatal Attraction, when she's getting interrogated. And him sitting with the cast of the film The Breakfast Club, and in between Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones from Men in Black in the stupid egg chairs. Oh, my God. I'll put it all at ericzaneshow.com. I'll link it up in the notes of the audio podcast. All right, that's the open in the books of the Eric Zane Show podcast. And, boy, we got a lot of ground to cover on this show today. But first, Valentine's Day, right around the corner. Why have you not yet booked me for a cameo? Have you lost your mind? The cameo lasts forever. Stupid flowers are going to be dead before you know it. By the way, if I ever get a flower sponsor, I'm not going to call them stupid flowers. But for now, I am. Some of you actually like flowers, but I mean, they freaking die, okay? This is going to be forever. And let me just tell you, you might think that I'm just going to sit there and be insulting on the cameo for Valentine's Day. Not true. I take it in the direction you want me to take it in. If you just say, hey, man, I really need you to tell my better half how much I love her, or how much I love him, whatever. Well, then do it. I can handle that. I mean, come on. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. That's where you go for this. You can download the Cameo app in the App Store, or you can do it online on your desktop or laptop, whatever it may be. Just cameo.com/Eric Zane, and then hire me. It's just $15.99. I'm dirt cheap, and I pride myself on my cameos. Okay, so get after it. Hire me for Cameo for Valentine's Day on Cameo. All right, this just popped into my head. I've got several people that have reached out to me and said, Zane, Here's a new intro for you. I know Matt Kuipers is sent me one, and he's been crying like a child because I haven't yet put it on. I haven't had a minute, but I swear to God, I'm going to get to it. I haven't made it yet. Matt Kuipers, I got your intro. I got Boring Dean's intros, and those are the two off the top of my head. If anybody else has sent me an intro that I haven't yet made available, will you either resend me it or just remind me, and then I can find the email? Because sometimes it kind of just goes on by, and then it's gone. Sorry. Okay. It's time for a tech upgrade for the workplace. Either you are the person that makes decisions at work, or maybe you're a person who might be able to get into your boss's ear and say, boss, our tech is struggling. The routers stink. Firewall's a disaster. These monitors are useless. The computers in general are really, really rough, really, really slow. Outdated software that isn't supported. We are having an end-of-life tech issue. I think we need to seriously look into getting a tech gear upgrade. We'll all work more efficiently. We'll work faster. It's better for the work environment. We need to get on this. All you need to do is reach out to Blue Frost IT. You can email info@Blue Frost IT or call them at 616-200-8550. Don't make it so that your employees are working with gear that is having an end-of-life experience. Get upgraded and start by reaching out to Blue Frost IT. They'll basically give you a complimentary consultation, and you basically tell them what you need and what your needs are, and then they will take that information and say, this is what I think you should go with. You sign off on it. They take care of getting it. They take care of getting it to you and setting everything up. Blue Frost IT, online at bluefrostit.com. Thank you. And then, of course, my friends at Tag Accounting. We're starting to get to that point, man. Documents are rolling in saying, hey, it's tax time. You're going to need this. Don't throw me away. Do not throw out. Make sure you don't do that. That's your tax tip of the day from Tag Accounting. But when it comes to getting the taxes done, this is all you need to worry about. Getting a hold of Troy Ginzer and his staff at Tag Accounting. Anywhere in the USA, reach out. 616-301-9516. Or online at tagcpa.net. You can email Troy at tagcpa.net. They've got an online portal so that no matter where you are in the USA, all of your documents are sent their way. And that's how they do this. You don't have to be face-to-face, nothing like that. You can if you want. I actually do. Payroll client services, tax client for business or for personal. Tax services for business or personal. All there, tagcpa.net. For this tax season, save yourself the time and the energy. Okay. Wow. This next story, I just cannot believe the extent at what this kid did. This is one of these kids. What kid? He's 19. He's an adult, but he looks like he's like 35. Okay. And his mugshot, just the deadest eyes you're ever going to see. It just tells you that this guy, he's not playing with a full deck. Gets a job at Kroger. 2 weeks pass, and then the boss says, why is my store $1 million in the hole? That's right. This dude embezzled over 2 weeks, $980,000. And How the hell do you think you're going to be able to get away with this? I mean, there's nothing subtle about this. Back to my time with stealing. My old pal Dennis Horkenbach used to work at a grocery store, and we used to bring like bottles to return. And, we'd bring like 40 cents of bottles, and he would ring up like $40 worth of bottles. And then he'd give us the receipt, and we go through the line and get the cash, and you give him a cut, and then that's it. That was the racket. Pretty brilliant, actually, but it was subtle. It was we got away with it for a long time. I'm not exactly proud of that thing, of moments like that, but we were young and stupid, and that's what you do when you're young and stupid. $980,000. Trey Brown is in deep doo-doo today. This is the NBC News story about it.
In December, Trey Brown stole more than $980,000 from Kroger. The way he did it, police say he created more than 40 non-existent returns ranging from $75 to $87,000.
40 returns. So, the $75 return, all right, yeah, whatever. I mean, I don't know what one item would cost $75 at Kroger, but then one was $87,000? What?
Investigators believe, as of right now, that Mr. Brown used the money that he stole to buy cars, clothing, shoes, and guns.
A police report we obtained states Kroger's loss prevention found out Brown was allegedly using a lottery redemption code to type in the amount he wanted. Then, quote, the suspect will swipe his card and the money will deposit onto his debit card.
The amount of money that Mr. Brown took was just excessive in this particular case, and obviously drew a large amount of attention to himself almost immediately. So it wasn't the crime of the century by any means, as far as being able to
wasn't the crime of the century.
Get away with it.
Gwinnett County police say they arrested Brown outside of his home last week, and a large sum of money was returned. Brown is charged with theft by taking. Kroger told me in a statement they are not commenting at this time because this is an active investigation.
Did he say theft by taking? Is that opposed to theft by giving? What? Okay. Oh my God. What a dumbass. Son of a man. Him being in jail, trying to explain that to the rest of the crew when he gets there. Oh God, he's going to be the laughing stock of the prison. $980,000 over 2 weeks. My God. Okay, I've got audio of Mickey Redmond. And some of you might be like, well, I mean, if you don't know anything about hockey, or if you don't live in Michigan, you don't know who the hell Mickey Redmond is. But I would say a lot of you do. Legendary NHL hockey player with Montreal and the Red Wings. And he's been the color commentator for the Wings forever. And classic hockey personality, you know? And I don't know what the hell was going on here. And I'm not even sure of what he said. So wasn't there something that when you listen to something, wasn't there one Green Needle? Wasn't that yeah, let me see if I can find that. Green Needle. Yes, Green Needle or Brainstorm. Hang on a second here. When you hear something, it says one of two things. Like if you think Green Needle, you're going to hear Green Needle. Hold on, it's a commercial. Okay. Think Green Needle. Okay. Now, think Brainstorm. What do you hear?
Real fruit and whole grains. Do what's delicious. Kellogg.
Do it again. Think Brainstorm. Okay, so it worked. I heard Green Needle the first time when I was telling you to think Green Needle. And then I heard Brainstorm when I committed to thinking about Brainstorm. We're going to do the same thing with Mickey Redmond. Except he's not saying Brainstorm or Green Needle. I'll just play it for you first. And then when you hear it, I want you to write the word. If you're listening on the live stream or watching on the live stream, write down the word that you heard Mickey say. He's talking about the power play of the Red Wings. He's very happy with it.
That is the best fucking power play the Detroit Red Wings have had in 4 games.
One more time.
That is the best fucking power play the Detroit Red Wings have had in 4 games.
Wait, what? You want to hear it one more time? Okay. What is Mickey Redmond saying here? What word am I looking for?
That is the best fucking power play the Detroit Red Wings have had in 4 games.
All right. Stevie says F-bomb. Tyler says F-bomb. The Peruvian Edge says the best fucking power play. Tyler says no doubt about it. Matt Hexel says best effing power play. Detroit Red Wings at best. I don't have one person saying anything other than the F word. Now, I want you to think of the word looking. Okay? See if you hear Mickey say looking.
That is the best fucking power play the Detroit Red Wings have had in 4 games.
I didn't hear looking. I heard the...
That is the best fucking power play the Detroit Red Wings have had in 4 games.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, it's... So that was the argument. Did Mickey Redmond drop an F-bomb? In fact, I didn't. I got to pull up the article, too, that goes along with it. Because that's been the talk about this is what exactly did Mickey say? If you happen to catch a Red Wings game between Detroit and Columbus, you had the opportunity to see the Wings win. Tyler Bertuzzi scores in overtime. But if you're watching and listening closely, you may have heard Mickey Redmond drop an F-bomb. Many believe was an F-bomb on live television. Jason says he heard best looking. Take a listen below and let us know if you think he said the F-bomb or if it was looking. Now, when I listened to it yesterday, Kevin Kuipers sent me this. Thank you, by the way, for that. When I listened to it just on the phone, it sounded like looking. But in my headphones, all I can hear is an F-bomb. This writer says, what do you think? Personally, my brain is telling me he said looking, as that is what I heard watching it live and on replay. But my heart really wants to believe that he dropped the F-bomb. I find it hard to believe that he would say an F-bomb and then finish the sentence without, catching himself, So I think it was looking, but it just sounded incredibly like the F-bomb. That's my story.
That is the best fucking power play the Detroit Red Wings have had in 4 games.
By the way, I did not give you your coming up Fern moment of baby advice today. So,
birth is the most intimate spiritual experience you will ever have. I didn't feel the need to invite anyone into my space to help me make the baby. And I definitely didn't feel the need to invite anyone into my space to help me push the baby out. Obviously, do whatever works best for you, but recognize that your birth is sacred. Being able to witness it is a special experience and should be treated as such. If someone wants to have the opportunity to be there for it, make them earn it.
If you want to go down to down a rabbit hole of just, oh my God, of some real hippiness and wokeness and just, well, whatever you would describe that as, search Coming Up Fern on TikTok. Oh my God. I feel terrible for her 4th husband. Okay. When Trump was busy pardoning all these criminals, there was one in particular who was like, all right, I'm sitting here waiting for my pardon. And it's really, really a bummer that he, first of all, I still cannot get over the fact that Trump pardoned Kwame Kilpatrick. What an absolute crock of shit. For a guy who finished his presidency, in my opinion, on an absolute losing streak of epic proportions, like 0-16 Lion level of losing, for him to end it with the exclamation point of pardoning Kwame Kilpatrick, of all people, is absolutely mind-boggling to me. And you know what? Kwame Kilpatrick is supported by a guy who owns the Carolina Hurricanes, Peter Karmanos. How the fuck is that even a thing? Karmanos used to be it probably still is in the Detroit area, but he owns that hockey team. But I don't know how Peter Karmanos got to be pals with such a piece of shit like Kwame Kilpatrick. My God. So as that stupid pardon gate unfolded, and, I don't want to hear, everybody gets pardoned. Everybody, the presidents, all the presidents always pardon. I don't give a shit. I think pardoning is stupid. I think pardoning is absolutely horrible. I think if you get busted and you get convicted or you plead guilty and you are doing time, you finish your time. Pardoning should be not... Presidents should not be able to pardon like that. It's bullshit. Just go in and say, yeah, you're free. You killed some guy, but you're free now. Come on, give me a break. One person, though, who just for sheer entertainment purposes, I think should have been pardoned is Joe Exotic. But didn't happen, and he's pissed. I totally envisioned Trump and Joe Exotic having a show together, but it's not happening. And he was so sure that he was going to get pardoned that he had someone book a limousine and have it show up at the prison on pardon day so that he could just walk out and get into the limo. How sad is that? And then so the dude in the limo, is he coming? No, he's not. All right, smell you later. And then the limo peels out. It's described as Team Exotic was reportedly so confident. He still has a team. So confident he was going to be pardoned by Donald Trump that he had that limo parked there at the Fort Worth prison with an elaborate plan to be whisked away for a medical evaluation and pampering. You got to understand, Joe Exotic is kind of like he's a tough talker, but a really, I guess I would describe him as a tough talking, flamboyantly gay man. Walks around with a gun at his hip. He looks like he's from the Wild West, but in a really, really gay way. Okay, really flamboyantly gay way, and he's really up front about it. Okay, so I'm assuming that pampering would mean butt sex and a lot of it. This after the embattled zoo operator, whose real name is Joseph Allen Maldonado Passage, mounted one of the most high-profile campaigns to receive a pardon, and then Trump leaves him hanging. Come on, if you're gonna pardon Kwame Kilpatrick, you asshole, how the fuck can you not pardon Joe Exotic? And besides, there's some real gray area about what he was convicted on, and there's a lot of weirdness because. Carol Baskin, she's crazy too, and everybody knows that crazy bitch killed her husband. So it's not like he was going to kill anybody that was worth anything. Come on. Exotic was bummed out when he was excluded from the list of pardons and commutations. He was convicted in 2019 on federal charges of animal cruelty and attempt. That's about the only thing he should stay in prison for is the animal cruelty. And attempting to hire a hitman to kill rival Carol Baskin. But he disputes the animal cruelty. He says he treated his animals all fantastically. He had choice words for the president and his son, Don Jr., but it was too little, too late. And here's what he says. I was too innocent, and too gay to deserve a pardon from Trump. Read on a tweet on the Tiger King Stars account. I only mattered to Don Jr. when he needed to make a comment about me to boost his social media post. Maybe what? Boy, were we all stupid to believe he actually stood for equal justice. His corrupt friends all come first. Well, it's kind of hard to argue with that when he's offering pardons to pieces of shit like Steve Bannon and Kwame. He also pardoned Paul Manafort, Roger Stone. Let's see. You remember the and then Lil Wayne. He was in prison for like weapons charges. And rapper Kodak Black. God, why does that? It just doesn't. Why would he pardon these people? There's got to be a money trail somewhere that if you just barely dig, you can find it, and that's got to be highly illegal. I don't know. Very, very strange to me. And then there was talk about him pardoning himself and his family, and it's like, don't you have to actually have done something wrong, and that has to have been proven before you can get a pardon? I mean, how is it that that was even being considered a pardon for yourself? Was that can you pardon for future crimes? Is that what they were explaining? Because I don't even know. Very, very strange. But Joe Exotic gets none. Back in April, when word of Exotic's flamboyant pardon campaign found its way to the White House press corps, Trump notably asked CNN journalist Jim Acosta for his opinion on pardoning the former zoo owner. Trump asked Acosta? I'm not weighing in on Tiger King, Acosta replied. Acosta had another Tiger King moment on Tuesday when the White House reporter and perennial Trump foe swore live on the air while reading a statement provided by a Trump loyalist that called the Netflix star a dipshit. I'm sorry, I missed that. Shit. Damn it. I'll have to just play Mickey Redmond again.
That is the best fucking power play the Detroit Red Wings have had in 4 games.
I got Patreon tonight with Ben, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Featuring Bet on Ben. That game is back, and it's more fun than ever on Patreon. I invite you in on the Zoom. Okay, this is what I want you to do. I'm going to mention that as soon as the podcast starts on the live stream. Say, hey, if you want in, I'm going to be, just volunteer your hand. Raise your hand virtually on the comments when we do it. And then I will invite you in to the Zoom. You respond to it, and then we're playing Bet on Ben. Top prize is $50. I do have a budget, but you start winning the $1 prize. You win the $1 prize, then you have a chance to double it. And you keep doubling till you hit $50. Okay? So when it gets to the $32 amount, you can either take your money and go home, or we double it, and it doesn't go to 64, it goes to 50. If you get all those questions right, you win. All right. And Bet on Ben, if you don't know, Ben, of course, my partner on 107.3 WBBL. And so he joins me on this Patreon podcast. He is my only paid employee, and outside of Blue Frost IT. And I ask him a trivia question, and then you place your bet whether you think he's going to get it right or not. If you say, I'm going to bet on Ben, and then he gets it right, then you win the cash. If your bet and his answer don't match up, you don't win. It's a lot of fun. Plus, we do a bunch of other things as well. That's all on my Patreon. If you want to check it out, it's just $5 for the month or $10 for the month. And then if you want to renew, it'll either automatically renew or you just cancel it sometime during that month. If you're like, it's all right, but I don't like it that much. Then you just cancel it, and then you're out the $5 or the $10. Then that's it. But if you like it, convert it to a yearly, because then when you convert it to a yearly, you'll save 10%. So what was $60 for tier 1 for the year is $54. What was $120 for tier 2, which is all the audio, all the video, all the live streams, is now $108. Tier 1 is just audio. Okay, that's it. Sign up for my Patreon. It's just one of the many ways that we keep the lights on this little hustle called the Eric Zane Show podcast. It means you would not believe the feel-good chemicals that flood my brain when I see, congratulations, so-and-so just signed up for Patreon. Oh my God. No, I'm not going to lie to you. They don't rush in. I pick up one or two a week if I'm lucky. It's been remarkably stable at 272 Patreon members for quite some time. I would love it. It would be a dream to get up to 280. That's the goal. So if you want to help me out, sign up on Patreon. I put a lot of content up there, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, the daily Patreon bonus podcast, the Insane Asylum, my music show on Q100. You get it commercial free. Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia with Dale. By the way, he's playing John, not John and Jennison, another John on Tuesday. And then the Lost Zane recordings. All there on my Patreon. I know this is the hard sell and a long one, but I got a closed mouth is a hungry mouth. Okay. Van Dyke Mortgage, thank you. If you're in the market for a mortgage, I recommend you call Mario. Anywhere in the USA, he can get you into a mortgage. 231-332-6505. If you've got perfect credit, this will be an easy process, of course. If you have less than perfect credit, not every mortgage person is going to be too thrilled that you want to hire them. Okay? Mario will. He loves the first-timers. He was in that boat once. He had to repair his own credit. He did it. And now look at him go. He wants to make sure all of your questions are answered and all of your, well, you might think they're dumb questions, but they're not. First-timers reach out. Bad credit, low credit, no credit, bankruptcy, divorce, all that stuff. He takes care of it all. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. By the way, before I get to my next sponsor, I have to award, I forgot to do this, the asshole of the day. The asshole of the day is the dude who stole all the money from Kroger. That is Trey Brown. Congratulations, you have won. Well done. If you need to get a hold of Mario, 231-332-6505. And then, of course, F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. F45, the letter F, the number 4, the number 5. F45training.com/Byron Center. The workouts are 45 minutes long. You've got a exercise group leader telling you to hurry up, bust your ass. You do like 45 seconds worth of work or 40 seconds worth of work. You move to the next station, get a drink of water, you start the next thing. Every day's workout is different. They write every day's workout, tailor it for you, and then you get after it. And all their coaching helps in incredible ways. You've got nutrition advice that you can get, workout many different times during the day, during the weekend, on the weekend too. All there, F45training.com/Byron Center. When you go there, you can work out for free. Just click. That's the first thing you should do. Click on that free workout thing. You sign up for a week, and then you're in business. Thank you to F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. Okay. Let's bring in the email of the day. And boy, this is going to piss somebody off. Somebody named Kate in New Jersey is about to get pissed. Where is Kate? Is she still here in the comments? Kate, if you're here, give me a virtual hand raise. I don't know if she is. I see her at about 8:56. She made a comment. So we'll see. This is pertaining to the former general manager of the New York Mets. This email of the day brought to you by my friends at Forever Lawn, West Michigan, online at foreverlawn.com/WMI. Jared Porter, if you recall the story earlier in the week, was texting a young reporter who is from another country, speaks English as a second language. The texting went back and forth. They seemed to be hitting it off pretty well. He sent a text of his face. She sent one back. He's thinking, oh, boy, we're liking this. This is good. Now, at that point, I'm thinking things are turning positive, all right? He says, do you want me to send more? She says, yes and yes. So then he took a selfie of his crotch, his pants. And she did respond to that, but it didn't really indicate anything much more. Okay. And then there was more texting. She did not respond. And he didn't take the hint over a long period of time, like 60 texts worth of exchange. Didn't take the hint. So then he decided to whip out his crank and take a picture of his stiff crank and send it to her. Okay. Now it sounds so ridiculous. And I was at first, I was like, well, all right, this is terrible. And he does deserve what he gets. And he ended up getting fired, but it is a little different because they had some dialogue going in before. And maybe his fat ass thought he had a chance and maybe she was missing the text. I don't know, but probably not. So I wasn't necessarily saying Jared Porter got roped, but there was that weirdness to it. And then there was the weirdness too. She didn't say anything till 5 years later, until she wasn't in journalism anymore. And though she was saying, "Oh yeah, I want to help women who could have something terrible happen to them at this guy's hands," now that he has this general manager job, it's like, well, yeah, but only when it's convenient for you. So that isn't that noble at all. So this guy is not right. He deserved it, but there's just a couple of little. Small little hiccups in the story. It isn't just a couple bits of oddness doesn't make it right by any stretch. So that's where I stood on this. This guy, though, BJ, is a hell of a lot more in your face with his opinion about it. Now, the email of the day doesn't have to be something that you love or something that you agree with, but it does have to be something that you spent some time in and threw a little emotion behind it. If you send me a, hey, I like the show, you're not going to win the email of the day. So here you go. This is it. Hey, Zane, good afternoon. I had to write regarding the Jared Porter story. At the end of the day, I am not sure he ultimately got what a lot of people thought he deserved. And this is where I have a problem with the story. While I'm not opposed to somebody bringing up an old situation over sexual assault, sexual misconduct, or inappropriate behavior, one in which took place when I heard the backlog of this story on your podcast, I came to one conclusion. He writes, fuck this and fuck her. There was a clear exchange back and forth of the text messages, selfies, and potential dick pics, and she fully understood the innuendo by the bulge in his pants. Did she think he was shopping for bananas or salami and was showing her that he had it in his pocket for dinner later? Come on! She wanted some dick and then decided against it and thought she would tuck this little nugget away in her pocket until she could use it to benefit herself. She's in a different country and it really benefits no one to air it now. He didn't rape her or force himself on her. When she said no, he stopped texting. It's not like he has been sending scrotum shots for the last 4 years saying, guess who? This guy has now lost his job, the position he had been working toward all of his life, and he cannot provide potentially for his family anymore. She loses nothing and will probably gain from it or get a new job from the attention and the sympathy. It takes two to tango. She should lose her chance to work just the same. Bullshit. Nothing but bullshit. Listening through gritted teeth. Signed, BJ. Whoa. All right. I'll let you bat that one around. Let's turn to Mickey Redmond, see what you think.
That is the best fucking power play the Detroit Red Wings have had in 4 games.
All right. You can always reach out, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. If you want to be the Forever Lawn West Michigan email of the day, you can send that to me on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Shoreliners Striping inbox is where you can send those emails. Okay. as I've detailed before, because of the ever since the kidney donation, I have the bladder of a child. So right now I am extremely uncomfortable. And so you will see the graphic on the video live stream. Back in a minute, taking a pee. And then what I'll do is when the show ends, I'll clip the silence out. You won't even know it. But I am announcing it just so that everybody's on the same page. Hold still. I'll be right back. I need a break. Oh my God, look at him. He's spectacular. Hello. That's a Squiggy reference. Hello, Laverne. Look at Daisy. Hello, Daisy. Hello, Pappy. Oh, my God. All right, where am I? Where am I? Okay. So, thank you. Thank you for your patience. One of Michigan's dimmest rioting at the Capitol. Boy, man, these images are so clear. Detroit area man with hockey stick arrested in riot. Of course. You know, I mean, give him points for having a hockey stick.
That is the best fucking power play the Detroit Red Wings have had in 4 games.
But use the hockey stick on the ice. You can't use, I mean, seriously, if you see guy with hockey stick and then there's like a flag attached to it, well, you're already a target because you're too stupid to have a mask on. So your naked bare face is there for the world to see. But you know, if you're waving the flag, that is, and you're using the hockey stick and you attach the Trump flag to the hockey stick and then you wave it, I mean, pretty much right away, the FBI field office says, okay, I'm turning to the field offices of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Maine, and maybe Massachusetts to pinpoint their efforts, facial recognition on this stupid ass. Because those are the only states where someone would come from and bring a hockey stick to the Donald Trump rally / Capitol attack, which is what it was. Criminal complaint filed against Michael Joseph Foy. And man, just some of the clearest shots of his face. And because the FBI is working, I mean, seriously, it's just like tireless effort with facial recognition software. How did these guys go and do all of this without anybody covering their face? It's like they're so stubborn to make that a political statement that they're not wearing a mask, that they lose all sight of trying to keep their identity safe. And here they are, all getting busted. The FBI received a tip on January 10th that included a photo of a dude carrying the stick. Federal authorities say they confirmed the man was both outside and inside the Capitol the day of the riot. They identified Foy through various online resources. A video posted by the New York Times shows Foy swinging the hockey stick. He can be seen lifting the stick over his head and swinging down rapidly, hitting someone on the ground several times, according to the complaint. Authorities say another video at a different angle shows Foy hitting a cop for 16 seconds. Son of a bitch, what an asshole. Until he was knocked down by another rioter. In this video, Foy can be shown lowering his hood, giving a clear view of his face. The suspect then raises the hockey stick above his head in celebration and begins shouting. He's later seen crawling through a broken window at the Capitol. Oh, God. And then he's like posing, like in front of the Washington Monument with his stupid Trump flag with his dumbass hockey stick. Man. Foy's father posted a photo the day of the riot of a dude dressed in the same clothing carrying the hockey stick with the Trump flag in front of the Washington Monument. A commentator said, "Was this the guy sitting in Nancy Pelosi's chair?" Foy's father answered, "He was raised better than that." Well, he was. No, he wasn't, because he was seen beating the shit out of a cop. Foy faces charges of knowingly entering a restricted building without permission, obstruction of law enforcement, forcibly assaulting an officer, aiding and abetting and obstructing a congressional proceeding. 5 people died as a result, of course, of the big insurrection. One comment, because I've seen a lot of people when the whole business about Biden, he takes over, he's talking, saying all the shit, whatever. Hey, we got to do this, we got to get along. If you don't support that, that is fucking okay. If you are still pissed off and don't want to hold hands with the other side now, because you're still pissed off, I can totally see that and understand that, and I don't have a problem with anybody not wanting to go down that road. I have, honestly, seriously, the way I look at this is this. At the end of the day, after a hotly contested election with all sorts of pissed off people, there is no way that this close to that election and all of the contesting and the inauguration and the riot that you can turn around and say, hey, let's be friends, and expect that they will reciprocate that. It might not happen that quickly or at all. And that is all right. But all I can say is, let him try to do his best. And if you don't like it and you're not happy with the job done, well, then you got to vote for somebody else the next time there's an opportunity. But for God's sake, don't be so upset and wound up that you wreck your day, you attack someone verbally or God knows what else do to them. Just lower the temperature. We're all on the same team. We're supposed to be working together. I kind of like what Biden said when he was talking to his staff. He was swearing in the staff of his administration, and it's all via Zoom, and you see all these faces. And he said, "I want to let you, under no uncertain terms, know that if anybody disrespects a colleague, like says something to someone on the other side, says anything, you will be fired on the spot." And I thought that's a good start. Okay, that's it. I think to me, if he's going to lead by example and actually try to make it so that there can be some type of cohesiveness in the government and within the United States, he needs to start with that being the mindset. And then every day passes, you build upon that. And my only suggestion to the people that are you and me is let him try to do it. And if it works, it works. You still might not vote for the guy. You still might not like the guy. But, my God, the bar is so low right now that we can only improve the relationship between basically sides of the country. So I think that was a fucking beautiful thing that I just said. That was awesome. What I'm going to talk about next is not so awesome and downright ridiculous. And I swear to God, I want to feel bad for this guy who got scammed. I do want to feel bad for him. And I think the only way that I could really feel bad for him if it reveals somewhere that this is an old man who was affected. But I don't know if that's the case. It might just be somebody who's stupid. Son of a bitch. Hey, thanks for reaching out to Joe Martinez and hiring him to install the Remy Halo. Apparently, we struck a nerve with some of you and said, man, I got to get that damn thing. I posted the video of Joe installing the Remy Halo into our heating and cooling system. So, the heating and cooling system, it's real simple. It's sucking the air in your house and through all those ducts, and then the air goes over the furnace. It gets hot, and then it gets blown back into your home, and you have heat. Okay, great. Well, we don't really open our doors up in the wintertime, so all the pollen, dust, dirt, mold, dander, bacteria, viruses, all these things still just kind of circulate through the house, and it's a little icky and a little gross. So what do? You just leave the doors open all the time? Of course not. This device cascades down various types of light that kill those things, bacteria, mold, spores, all those things that I just said, as it circulates through your home. And it's really easy to install. And I want you to reach out to Joe about getting the Remy Halo installed. Okay. 616-516-8579. It's going to set you back $750. That's not right. Mention the show. It's $650. Okay. Have the Remy Halo installed in your home. You will notice right away, within about half of an hour, as the air circulates through cleaner, that it smells better in your home, especially if you're like in our house with all these dogs. It's going to not smell so dog-like, okay? It's not going to smell like some poverty vet clinic that doesn't have one of these. My house smells better, and yours will too, and you will have a healthier supply of air in your home. 616-516-8579. Okay. Last but not least, Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. My God. 616-532-6600. Get your cars repaired at Irvine's. Domestic, Asian, European. About the only thing they don't mess with is Volkswagen. Reach out to Irvine's. If you are in West Michigan, even close, even just barely close to West Michigan, get your cars repaired at Irvine's. Again, my message is very, very simple. If one of my sponsors fits your need for something, please engage them and mention my name. 616-532-6600 for Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. For anything at all car-related. I just had a wheel alignment done, oil change done, and if we ever need any other problems, heck, when I bought that car for Madison, that older Honda Accord, I said, hey, can I take this car over to my mechanic? And they said, yeah, sure, just take it. Sarah Honda said, take it over there, have them look at it. And then they did that at Irvine's. They checked out the car for me. They said, we think this is a good running car. Go ahead. I would recommend if you wanted to buy it. That's how they operate. Thank you, Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. Okay, listen to this. This is just ridiculous. Holy shit. Thank you, by the way, Bleeding Heart Brian, for sending this story along. It's a good one. Police in Troy, Michigan are warning people, and this could happen to anyone, about a new scam. Now, I have a feeling that when they warn people, they do it, but at the same time, they want to say, how in the world could you have fallen for this? How? A resident was bilked out of, oh my God, how much money? $140,000. My God. Sergeant Megan Lehman says that this man got a phone call from someone who claimed to be with the United States Customs and Border Protection. The man was told that his name was on a package of drugs and money sent to Colombia and that he was in trouble. Just that alone, how can that make you do anything? I mean, if that happened to me, I would say, okay, well, what would you like me to do for you? And if they said the next step, I would say, well, this doesn't sound right, and I'm not going to do that. If you want to come see me, and I'll talk to you. This guy bit, though. The victim was then transferred. Hang on, you're in trouble. Let me transfer the call. Transferred the call to another person claiming to be with the Troy Police Department. Why didn't they just start with that? I mean, seriously. That person said, yep, I see there's a warrant out for your arrest, but we don't want you to go to the police station. Oh, okay, what can I do? What do I do to clear my name? Quote, the supposed law enforcement officers told the victim that he had to wire them some money in order to take care of this warrant, which he did. Come on, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? I need to know the age of this guy. You know, if it's an elderly person who was taken advantage of, which, you know, I mean, seriously, if you're an elderly person, there's still no excuse for you to be taken advantage of unless you are all alone and you have no one alive to help you. Let's say you have no kids, no wife, no one checking up, no neighbor checking up on you, then perhaps. But if you have anyone in your life, how could you? I mean, come on. Because the young person, it's the young person's duty to explain to protect the elderly. Say, hey, by the way, just have that talk with them. Kind of like when you had a talk with your kids about masturbation or the birds and the bees. Which, by the way, I never really had that talk with my kids. Did your dad ever talk to you about that? Or your mom ever talk to you about playing with yourself? Got to be a terribly awkward conversation. I don't think that ever happens. I think kids just find out, I'm already digressing in the story. This is terrible. But, the old folks, they got to have the young folks got to have the talk with the old folks, kind of like they used to have the talk with you about the birds and the beans. You got to say, look, you're going to get phone calls from people that are trying to take money from you, take your Social Security card or your Social Security number. The people are going to knock on the door, try to sell you something. You just remember to say, oh, well, thanks anyway. My son handles all that. He's right in the other room, but he's busy right now. You got to make up a story. You got to do something to protect our elderly loved ones. Okay, seriously, because they're just waiting. These bad guys to fucking do something like this. There's an entire industry of grifters who seal driveways and put a new roof on, and the old guy says, "All right, here's $10,000. Give me a new roof." The fucking roof is never done. But the old guy thinks that he's got a new roof. It's ridiculous. The supposed law enforcement officer said, you got to wire us the money. The victim emptied his bank accounts, wiring money to several alleged government accounts. Along with the cash, the victim was also told to provide gift card numbers from Target and Best Buy, which he did. Oh, my God. What the fuck? Oh. So we sent a lot of money out of town. Ultimately, it added up to $140,000, which was sent to a couple different countries. Lehman, of course, never sent any package. However, he wanted to do anything to avoid the arrest, she explained. The cop said he knew he wasn't guilty, but a lot of those times these scammers are going to prey on people that don't have knowledge of the criminal justice system. Maybe they're new to the U.S. Maybe there's a language barrier. We've seen this a lot. Oh, my God. Lehman warns that police will never demand money over the phone or tell those implicated in the crime not to go to the police department. Man, how could you have done this? I guess that's it. Language barrier, age, whatever it may be. Absolutely ridiculous. This poor guy. Shit. So terrible. All right. There you go. That's it. I'm going to wrap this thing up right now. I appreciate you guys for being here on this podcast, as always. Once again, if you want to send an email, send it along on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. And hey, you know what I want you to do this weekend? I want you to spend some time with your family. I want you to have a little fun. Maybe listen to the Lost Zane recordings or the Insane Asylum. Whatnot. Be on with Ben tonight on Patreon. I've got the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast then at 7 p.m., the live stream. And then I got the Patreon bonus podcast coming up in just a little bit. Have a good one, folks. Talk to you down the road.